What's up guys, Joel with Motors and Mischief. Today we're working on our 2013 Jeep JK, and what we're looking into is we've got the 6-speed manual in this thing, and as you're driving it down the road, it is making a horrific rattling sound. Sounds something like this. We've determined that the problem is inside the shifter, so I'm going to show you how to pull that off, and we're going to see if we can't fix that thing. So let's go ahead and pull that shifter off. Okay, you don't have to take this top piece off. You don't have to take the bottom piece off. I'll show you when we get this off, but there's a hook towards the back of this thing. You need to twist this enough that it'll slide to the side of the hook, and the whole thing just pops right off. All right, if yours hasn't been off in a while, or ever, like this one, it can be a real pistol to get it off of there. But let me show you. That's the notch you're trying to get out from underneath, right there. And if you look down inside there, you can just make out the clip at the top of this thing. It's right up here in this photo that's hooking into that. It's obviously at the bottom of this, right there. So that's what's causing that thing to hold on. And if you twist it a little bit to the side, I found it easier to go towards the driver's side at the bottom. You can get that thing to unhook because it'll deform a little bit and that'll pop right out. I had to put, as you can see in the video, a tremendous amount of force on that thing to get it to come off. Like I said, this one's never been off. It's a 2013. So that took a lot of effort to get that thing off of there. But this Jeep came with chrome on the handles, as you can see right there, and we don't like it. So we are upgrading it. To the black. So we like these a lot better. So, okay, I'm doing this video from the standpoint of you being able to fix this rattle if you've got it on yours without having to replace that shift knob. However, since we are replacing the shift knob, what I'd like to do is take apart the chrome knob and figure out what could be causing the rattling, how that thing's built on the inside. And we're just going to show you everything so that you can see what the inside of that knob looks like without having to destroy your own. So I think this is a perfect opportunity to be able to just tear this thing apart and really get an understanding. We'll do an in-depth take apart of what this knob looks like. So let's bust this thing apart so that we can see inside it and start figuring out what could possibly be causing that rattling. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to pop this thing off of there. Okay, and then that just pops off right there. Now, the reason why I took that off was to see if there's anything inside here that could be responsible for that rattling that we could just tighten up and then reinstall this thing. But as you can see, everything on this is nice and tight. So what I'm thinking is causing that rattling is that this knob is rattling against the top of the shifter. Okay, that's popped loose this, and just for future reference, this is definitely not what was rattling because that was plastic welded into the end here and it broke to come out. So just like that. So that's definitely not the way to get that apart. However, we knew that, and what we're trying to do is get to that little guy inside there. If you look closely, you can see him. Okay, so we got this thing all ground out. Should be able to slide on and off real easily. I just want to check and see how it goes on the thing here. That's the rattling that it's making, so it makes me feel like it was rattling around. That's definitely the noise it was making. And also, when you were driving, if you put your hand on it, it would stop. That's not round, you can see there. So even though that's all egged out, it still will only go on this way. So I think that's bottoming against that right there. So I think what we want to do is put a little bit of silicone on there, just some RTV, something so that it can't bang against that, and then clip the new one in place. And we'll put a little bit on top here just in case it's doing that, but that should seal up that new one. Obviously the new one shouldn't be causing any problems, but I don't want to have gone all this trouble and then have an issue with it. So we'll go ahead and put that silicone on there and we'll slap the new one in. Whatnot, and I think this is going to be the best for what we've got. It's black RTV silicone. All of them bond. I did pick one that doesn't have a super high bond, because if I ever have to replace this, I'm gonna really hate it if I've bonded this to the thing. So we're gonna do two things to solve that problem. We're gonna put the silicone on there, and we're not gonna put a ton on. We're gonna let it dry a little bit so that it all we want it to do is take up the space and act as a compression seal. We don't want it to act as a bonding agent. So we'll go ahead and put that on. All right, now we're gonna let that dry for just a little bit. So like I said, we get some silicone instead of a bond, and then we'll slap the new one in place. All right, it's the next day. Let this thing dry overnight, so check this out. So you can see that is nice and dry, and we've got just a little bit of rubberiness to that thing now. The hope is that now that we've got that on there, it won't be able to rattle if that's what's causing the problem. So let's go ahead and stick the new knob on, and we'll take it for a drive and see if we fixed it. Okay, to put this into place, you just orient it like so. And push until it clicks. And that's it. Okay, now we'll go drive this thing, make sure we fixed it. Okay, that's it. So as you can see, that solved the problem. No more rattle. So if you've got that problem, I'm pretty sure what solved the problem was putting that little bit of silicone on the area that we talked about. So that'll be your fix. You do not have to replace it. Pull that sucker off of there. Like we showed you, put that silicone on, you can pop that right back on. You don't have to destroy a $50 part like we did. But now we know, and like I said, we want to switch to black anyway. So thanks so much for watching. On behalf of myself, Joel, and Uncle Jake from Motors and Mischief, we really appreciate you watching. Thanks so much for all the love and support. Check out some of our other videos that we've got. Like, thumb up, comment, all that good stuff. Peace, guys.